Since the beginning of the 20th century, India stood at the cusp of independence. The freedom movement had spread like wildfire across the length and breadth of our vast nation. During this time, particularly from the 1920s, events which defined India's struggle for freedom were a frequent occurrence. It was during these times that visionary leaders and their ideals of the new India were also emerging. Namaste and welcome to New India Junction. Today, let us dive into our glorious past and let us attempt to unravel the simple yet effective plan for Indian independence. I am Nivedita Tiwari, and today let us remember Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. In our nation's history, whenever complacency and acceptance have set in, heroes and visionaries have emerged to rattle us out of inactivity and propel us forward towards the goal of development. Be it 1857, when India fought one of the first battles for independence, or the 1920s, when the idea of complete and unmoderated freedom took shape. When Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose joined the independence struggle, he brought with him the synergy and commitment of the country's youth. Through the youth, student and women's movement, his aim was to ensure that those who would be sharing their futures with the country had a pivotal part to play in its independence struggle. It was Netaji who argued for complete civil disobedience, not just in provincial councils but across the spectrum of Indians in British employ. Be it the ranks of British Indian Army, the household staff, the lower rungs of bureaucracy, and even in the highest offices of political and judicial cooperation. Netaji desired complete severance. In a speech he delivered at the Lahore session of Congress, he had said, "Mine is the program of all-round boycott. I do not think it will be of any use to take up one item in the program of boycott and leave out others. It will not be consistent with our creed of independence to go and practice in the law courts or to enter local bodies." It was not for defiance that he argued for widespread non-cooperation, but it was to ensure that India focused all its attention and energy to break the shackles of colonialism. Netaji had always argued for independence. In every sense of the word, he had envisioned India to be a unified and self-sufficient unit to its core, be it politics, industry, defense, or education. It is true, if we look at it almost after a century, the two-pronged approach to freedom, one which advocates complete independence while simultaneously building important supply chains and domestic capabilities, it still holds true. Consider his words while delivering the presidential address at the student conference in Lahore in the autumn of 1929. "I wish our students' associations could start cooperative Swadeshi stores within their respective jurisdiction for the exclusive benefit of the student population." The idea that the Indian National Army was an instrument of violence is also one that many believe. But that claim too was baseless. The INA in its essence, ideals and strength was an instrument to enable disobedience and non-cooperation. It was Netaji's vision that with the INA advancing onwards through the Indian frontiers, it would snowball into an unstoppable force fueled by widespread defections from the British ranks. Unified markets, policy decisions and market reforms are today aiding the onset of complete independence. Realizing Netaji's vision would mean that each individual, every Indian, would be the master of their destiny. Like in the case of Netaji, the path for progress is faced with its fair share of opposition and interventions, but we must continue on this path nevertheless. Today, as we approach 75 years as an independent nation, we do so in unprecedented circumstances. But if we look back, it is easy to see that within Netaji and the entire nation, the urge for freedom was so fierce, so strong, that it continued despite the shock of countless men and women who gave up their lives and even an unnecessary partition to divide our beautiful country. We must, as the youth of today, draw inspiration from our past. We too must look at self-reliance as the means for the new Indian transformation. For tomorrow, we too will be looked upon as the change makers in the great Indian story. Keep watching New India Junction for interesting insights into India's history, its culture and current developments. Until next time, wish you a very happy Parakram Divas. Dhanyavad and Namaste.